everybody. It's Friday. How y'all doing?
Wonderful.
Everybody, welcome. Come on in to the clubhouse. Have a seat, sit down. For those of you guys who don't know me, my name is Jessie Lynn, and this is the Homebuyer Clubhouse where we go live every Wednesday and every Friday at 12:30. On Wednesdays, we drop something inspirational and motivational. On Fridays, we're dropping something educational. Erica, introduce yourself, honey.
Hey. I am Erica Batts. I am with New American Funding. I am your mortgage lender. And I am happy to be here today on this Friday.
Yes, Della. Yes, honey. Let's get it. Hello, Samantha. Introduce yourself, honey.
Hi, I'm Samantha. I'm a loan officer at Mortgage Solutions, and I'm happy to be here too.
Awesome. Everybody hit the share button. For those of you guys in my private group, I see you tagging some people. If you're in the private group, you're not going to be able to tag them because it's a private group, but you can go to our page, our Facebook page, and tag them and hit share or do whatever you need to do. But if you're in the private group, it's not going to show up. So, but anyway, welcome, y'all. Today, earlier this month, I told you guys that my client went under contract with the lease with the option to purchase program. A lot of people, they don't know that this program exists because it's so much fraud with the rent to own programs. Mm-hmm. And you can't really, rent to own, but lease with the option to purchase is completely different. And we're going to kind of go into that. And we're going to talk about the different programs that are out there and what they offer. But anyway, y'all tell us how you're doing today. Drop it in the box below. Let us know how you're doing and hit that share button. And we would highly appreciate it. All right, y'all. So the first one, today we're going to talk about Landis and Home Partners. Have y'all ever heard of those programs? Y'all heard of Landis and Home Partners?
I have heard of Landis.
You have? So Home Partners has been around for a while. I haven't actually used Home Partners. Well, I've used it, but I haven't had any clients go into contract. I'm going to tell you why later on. Why I haven't had anyone, because I know for me, a lot of the times I deal with a lot of people that they have lower income, and Home Partners, their rent is a little bit higher than the Landis program. So we're going to compare apples to apples, and we're going to kind of go into that. But I also do want to let you know before we kind of go into it that Home Partners have started a new program, and I just found this out today as I was kind of catching up on their updates because they did change their credit score recently as well. But Home Partners, they have a program that's called the Choice Lease. And what that's for people with low to moderate income. So their rent is about 10% or more less than their standard rent. So if you guys consider Home Partners, that's the way to go. But let's talk about it. All right. So Landis, let's talk about it. So the credit score for Landis is 620. No, Landis is 550. I'm sorry. Landis is 550 and Home Partners is now 620. It used to be 580, but they just increased it. So Home Partners is 620, Landis is 550. The Home Partners program, they have a $75 application fee for the entire family, but Landis is a free application. So as you guys can see, Landis is for basically, again, it's definitely to actually give back to the community. And that's why they kind of created this program so it can help people get it. There's also another one out there that's called Halo. I don't have a lot of information on that one. Have y'all heard of Halo? Or do y'all know any other programs before I dig too deep? No?
Okay. I'm willing to learn with you.
All right, cool beans. All right, so we talk application fee is about $75 for Home Partners and it's free with Landis, okay? So a lot of people always ask me, one of these questions that people ask me is, does the rent go towards their down payment? And with Landis, it does. So a portion of your rent, not the full amount, but a portion of your rent goes towards the down payment. But Erica, how this is beneficial for other people in this market, what's an issue for a lot of buyers right now? What's an issue?
A lot of people, it's going to be down payment. So not just credit score, because there are people that have the credit score, but their income doesn't allow them to really be able to save anything towards a down payment. And just like I think Landis is actually part of the company, Jay-Z is part of this company.
Yep.
And that's what their initiative was, to get more lower income people into housing, because they know that's the biggest way to build generational wealth.
Yes, yes. Jay-Z, Will Smith, I think he's in there as well. So yeah, definitely. And right now, what a big issue that's in this market, and I think is very beneficial for the people that can't be approved, self-employed. One of the issues is if you're self-employed, you're going to have to work at that job for at least 2 years. Well, not at that job. You're going to have at least 2 years of your tax returns if you're self-employed. So that's another benefit. And another thing is, for a lot of people who don't have a lot of cash, a lot of funding, they pay for your inspections, they pay for your appraisals. It's just like my client is pretty much doing nothing right now. They went under contract, and Landis handled everything. The thing that they have to do is, though, they have to pay. All right, Bella. So there you go. There you have it. So the thing about that is they have to pay a deposit, though. So Landis do require that you make at least $30,000 a year. Home Partners require that you make at least $40,000 a year. But there's a deposit, and that deposit can go towards your down payment whenever you decide to buy the house back from them. So they're requiring, Home Partners requires at least $1,000 or 1% of the purchase price, depending on how much you are approved with. And Landis, they are requiring anywhere between 2 to 3%, which is why they say you need to have at least $3,000 in your savings account. But another situation we're having in this market right now is cash is like king for the most part. And with the Landis program, you can close within 21 days. Home Partners is about 45 days. Landis, you get your keys on the day of closing. So it's 21 days. But this is beneficial no matter which program you go with, depending on your credit situation. It's beneficial because you're making a cash offer versus you using a loan.
Right. So it appears to them that you're making the cash offer, because Landis is going to front you basically the cash offer money, and then you will then rent the place back from them for a certain period of time. But I think you only have, like, is it 2 years with Landis, or is it 3 years with Landis?
Landis is 2 years. Home Partners, they give you anywhere between 3 to 5 years.
Okay.
So but Landis
years, you got to be ready to purchase.
Yes. So, but what they're doing is they're offering you free credit counseling to get you to where you need to be. And they also they also make sure that you are, I'm going to have Erica do a banner. I was working on it, but we started talking and I forgot. Give y'all my email address or her email, somebody's contact information. But we're going to drop a banner in the box below so you guys can kind of see it. But yeah, what were we talking about?
We were talking about how the benefits.
Bella distracted me, y'all.
That's okay. We were talking about the benefits of Landis.
No, I got that, but I forgot what I was saying. I don't even know. Anyway, if you're self-employed, it's very beneficial. The money goes towards your down payment if you're doing Landis. And another question that I get is your earnest money deposit. Again, we said is 1% or $1,000 down if you're doing Home Partners. And with Landis is 2 to 3%. And I know why Landis is higher is because I know when Home Partners started the program, each market is different. It depends on the market. And you don't, whenever you have to make an offer on a property, it's the due diligence and the earnest money that you have to pay. And if you go in with a low deposit amount, they're not going to accept your offer. They don't care if you're offering cash or not, because they think that you are possibly, you could back out or do whatever. So the sellers don't know who Landis is. They don't know who Home Partners is. So yeah, it's there to give you a strong offer. So, but yeah, so they pay for the inspections, they pay for the appraisals. So it's less money out of your pocket, and you don't have to pay closing costs. You don't have to pay any of that stuff. And again, you don't have to stress and worry about finding an inspector either.
Now, how do they do the rent? Are they charging you market rent? Are they charging you what the potential house payment would be based on your situation?
I'm glad you said that because that's what I was about to talk about before Della distracted me. Love you, Della. All right. So basically they pre-approve you off, it's based off of your pre-approval amount, right? So, and the way the pre-approval works is it's based on the market. So I noticed since the market has done the shift, it's okay, Della. I love the questions. Ask all your questions. I'm just talking junk, girl. I love it. Ask whatever you need me to ask. You're fine. But the market has been shifting. You know, the interest rates, they've been shifting in the market. So right now they're kind of approving people for a little bit less than what they are, but it's based off of what you are pre-approved for or whatever. And that's kind of how that goes. But as far as the rent, they will give you, I don't know, I guess it's market rent. And then they will add on another portion to it. So that way it can go, a portion of that can go towards your down payment, if that makes sense.
Right.
Does that make sense?
It does.
So you pay rent and then you do, yeah. Versus like Home Partner, they do market rent and then none of it goes towards your down payment at all.
Right. I definitely feel like Landis is a better program. It is new, but I do feel like it's a better program. But, you know, there's some people that if Landis does not work in all markets. So if Landis doesn't work in that market, then Home Partners will be a good alternative to see whether they work in that market or not.
Definitely. And that's why I'm cheering you on for both of them, because it just depends on your affordability. And what I tell everybody whenever they call me is, look, we do the lease. I know about the lease with the option to purchase program, but the rents are a little bit higher than you want them to be. And I know Home Partners is definitely up there. I don't see anything too crazy with Landis. I'm going to be honest. But like I said, they add on that additional, and a portion of that goes towards your down payment. But guess what? It's a good program because right now you're paying your landlord all of it, and none of it is going towards the down payment. So it's kind of like you saving up money for your purchase of your home.
You know, one of the things you were talking about, people who are self-employed. So now we also have bank statement programs, which now with those bank statement programs, you need 12 months of bank statements, but you do have to put down 10%. So there are some business owners that maybe have started a business within the past couple of years that have not filed 2 years of tax returns. So that is an alternative as well. So you've got the cash, but you don't have the 2 years. Then that's also something that we can work with on just a regular purchase that is not a lease to own option.
Definitely. So, all right. So let's talk about closing costs before we go into the Landis thing. Give them some estimates on closing costs about how much they're going to have to pay if they buy your home the traditional way compared to doing the lease with the option to purchase program. So if you're buying a home the traditional way, what's the minimum credit score, all of that. And then I'm going to get this banner up here so I can give Della my phone number and my contact information.
Okay. So with traditional financing, you're looking at anywhere from 0 to 5% as your down payment, depending on your area. Your 0 is going to be your USDA or your VA loans. And then there's a 3% option, and that's going to be a conventional financing. 3.5% is your FHA, and then 5% is your financing if you are doing a conventional loan and you are not a first-time home buyer. So all of those fees go in. And then you're also looking at closing costs. Closing costs are generally run between about 3% of the purchase price of the loan. Now, usually it's somewhere between $5,000 and $7,000 for your closing costs, depending on the area that you're living in.
You done? That was fast. I'm trying to get this banner to scroll, girl.
It's
there we go.
Della says she don't trust banks.
Della, how you going? So you rich?
One of the things with money like that, because I know a lot of people that they don't trust banks. So, they keep the money in their home, or, they're keeping it in coffee cans or all of those things. When you're borrowing money, you have to be able to source your down payment Chime is fine. It's still a bank and it's still but now Cash App is not a good option if you're looking for financing because it's hard to source the money or figure out where. And when they say source the money, they have to know where that money came from. That's one of the things with 9/11. Just not to get into all the politics of it, but that's how they financed a lot of the activities that happened on 9/11. So that an answer to that was, okay, if you're going to be borrowing money, you have to source that deposit. So it has to come from a reputable source, something that you can prove where this money came from. So Chime is okay. If you use Venmo, that works. Cash App does not work.
All right. She said, okay. That was a good question, Della.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to learn how to start trusting those banks, girl.
Well, and then, you don't necessarily have to put all your money in the bank. You put in enough to take care of what you need to take care of.
Look, one thing that I did learn, I know, we talk about saving money and all of that, but sometimes when it comes to buying large stuff, it's good to use somebody else's money.
Well, and that's just like a lot of people who say, well, I pay for everything in cash, and cash is great until you need to then borrow money. So, when you think about it, if you have a friend that says, hey, let me borrow $100, you're like, listen, I don't know you. I'm not letting you get $100. But if you know that they borrowed $10 for the last 4 months and they paid you back when they said they would, now you're more willing to give them $100. So credit is the same way. It's just a matter of, okay, let me look at your history and see, do you normally pay people back when you say you would? Because, banks don't want the house. We don't want the car and all of those things. Like when people say, well, I gave the car back. They didn't want the car. What they did was they gave you money and you were supposed to, pay that money back. So
right.
Sell the car, do whatever it is that, that you need to do with that. But they don't want the car back. We don't want the house, any of those things.
Definitely. All right, y'all. So let's talk about these programs for those of you guys that's just tuning in. We're going to give you a quick rundown. So right now, Landis is winning. But like I said, you can choose Landis or Home Partners. Landis minimum credit score is a 550, is a free application fee. A portion of that money goes towards your down payment whenever you get ready to buy the home. Again, this is a lease with the option to purchase. That means you're going to have to get a mortgage. You're going to have to call a lender. You're going to have to call somebody like Erica. There you go. You're going to have to call a lender. This program is for you to get to where you need to be to buy a home. So you are shopping for a house that's currently for sale. It's on the market. You're going out. We're going to make an offer on that property. But who's buying the property is going to be Landis or Home Partners. They're going to buy that property for you. They're going to order the inspections, the appraisals, do everything that you would normally do. They're going to do all of that stuff. And then what they're going to do is they're going to turn around and rent that property back to you. Landis gives you 2 years to buy that property back. And during those 2 years, they are going to help you for free fix your credit, get your credit to where it needs to be, and they're going to help you save money in the process. And the way you're saving money is a portion of your rent goes to your savings account, and that goes towards your down payment. Okay? All right. I forgot what I was saying. I got distracted. I was giving a rundown. All right. So no open bankruptcies for both of them. As long as you're dismissed, you're good. Landis does not state anything about your criminal history, but it says no disqualifying criminal history. I guess it's kind of like a rental or whatever, but that's from Home Partners. That's not with Landis. A minimum of 45 days. That's through Home Partners. Landis, you can close within 21 days. You need to have about $3,000 saved up, and that will go towards your down payment. And again, we say 1 to 3%. That's the same thing, but you don't have to pay for the inspections and the appraisals. And that's it. My monitor just went off, so there it goes. So yeah. And you want to add anything else before we go?
No, it's a good alternative. So home ownership is not unattainable for a lot of people that maybe thought it was, or things like that. So that's definitely something that is, like I said, it is a really good alternative.
Yeah, and for those of you guys, I know you guys heard this the other day when I was saying it, but I'm going to say it again. There are certain homes that they allow you to get with these programs. You can't have an in-ground pool. There's a certain age limit on these properties. They do not allow manufactured homes, no trailers, no condos. They do allow fee simple townhomes. So they do allow those. But like I said, there are age restrictions and it can't be like an older septic tank. And they're doing all of this because they just want to make sure that you got a good house, and sooner or later you're not going to have any issues getting it financed. And again, it's only in certain areas. So there's a map online that you can get. And like I said, shoot me an email. I'll send you everything. Shoot me an email. I'll send you everything about the program. And again, it is so you can buy your house. Call Erica. I always say, try to be pre-approved first. Contact your lender. See what they say. And then if you can't be pre-approved, the next step is to try Landis. And like I said, my client right now, she is self-employed, and it was very beneficial for her because she couldn't get pre-approved the traditional way.
Right. So it's definitely a conversation. And so, and one of the things that I do as a lender is like, I'll also talk to you about, okay, this is where your score is right now. These are the things that I suggest that you do in order to get your score to a higher, if credit score is your issue. But for a lot of people, it's not credit. It is the down payment piece of it. So just allowing them to be able to save for that down payment.
Mm-hmm. It's usually the funds. And you have closing calls. It's a lot. And I feel sorry for some people because we'll start shopping and then they start realizing like, oh, hold on now. And like, we talk about it, but when we say it, we mean it. When we tell you during your buyer consultation, it's going to cost about this much or whatever total. And I can't give you a number, but I'm giving you like an estimate, and your lender can give you an actual amount once you go under contract. But it's a lot because you have all these inspections. You don't want to move into a house and don't get it inspected. So that's how this program helps, because they pay for all of that and the appraisal.
Jessalyn, can you talk about what is an inspection for those that don't know?
A property inspection. They just pretty much go into the property to make sure that your property is sound and safe. I mean, they're checking the structure of the property. They're checking your water. They're making sure you don't have any leaks. They're checking for termites. They're checking to see if there's radon. Radon is an odorless gas that can kind of kill you, and you don't even know about it.
Right. So it tells you all the things that might be wrong with your house, so that you are educated and you know that, hey, this roof is going to need to be replaced in 5 years, or the air conditioning is on its last leg. Because what you don't want to do is move into a house and now you've been in the house for 30 days because you didn't get an inspection, and now the air conditioning has gone out in August, and you're saying, well, what do? I just spent all this money to buy the house. I don't have $8,000 to fix the air conditioning.
Definitely. I had a client that same thing. He had this much money, barely. He had barely enough to close, but we fixed it. We got to figure it out. We went under contract, but we knew this house needed some work. And then the floor is falling in up under the toilet and all kinds of stuff. And it's just like, so you definitely got to be careful whenever you're looking at these houses, and don't let that scare you, because I've seen some really, really great inspections. Right. Okay. All right. Y'all have any more questions? Any more questions before we go? Della, my number is 919-818-9854. And I'll give it to you again before I log off. Any more questions? Anybody have any questions? No. Speak one now or forever hold your peace.
They don't have to hold a peace forever. They can contact one of us.
Yeah, y'all have my number. All right, y'all. So thank you for tuning in today. Again, we talked about the Landis program. We talked about the Home Partners program. If y'all have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. You can reach me at 919-818-9854, Ms. Erica.
And you can reach me at 919-608-7916, or you can reach me at ericabats.com.
And you guys, y'all can reach us in the clubhouse at www.thehomebuyerclubhouse.com. Hello, Nicole. Hello. And you are so welcome, Miss Della. But yeah, you can reach us in the clubhouse at www.thehomebuyersclubhouse.com. You can also find us on Facebook in our private group and on our page at Home Buyers Clubhouse. And you can also find us on YouTube at The Home Buyers Clubhouse. Like and subscribe, and be sure to share because you may save a life. You may help someone today. Y'all have a good day. Have an awesome weekend. We'll see you guys on Wednesday. Y'all have a good day. Bye-bye.